welcome back to another movie review. Today we are reviewing a Netflix film, and this is Glass Onion Knives Out Mystery. A Knives Out Mystery. Yes, Knives Out 2 basically is a Netflix original movie, which is mad. Rian Johnson basically is the director and writer of these movies, or of the first movie, but he sold the rights off, or somebody sold the rights to Netflix for all the sequels. And yeah, here we are. This is the sequel. It came out in the cinema here in the UK for 1 week at the end of November. I didn't go and see it in the cinema. I waited for it to come on Netflix because it technically is a Netflix movie, and I waited for it to come on Netflix. And I'm glad I did because I didn't enjoy it. I thought the first Knives Out movie was much better. I haven't seen that for a while, but I did enjoy the first Knives Out film. I just didn't really rate the second installment at all. They focused very much on, in my opinion, getting, big actors to come in and play like these roles that kind of like, we've had in Kenneth Branagh's movies, like the Agatha Christie stuff, Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. They kind of want to just like put as many stars as they can onto the poster, and then the plot and the script and all that just doesn't even matter. And that's how I felt with this film. I just thought it was pretty boring. Right from the bat, I will say what I gave it. I gave it a 3-star. It just wasn't good in my opinion. There is some things in the film that I thought was okay and quite clever in terms of how he actually laid out the movie. There was like a bit where we kind of watched the whole movie, or not so much the whole movie, but maybe half of the film, and then he kind of went back and kind of filled in the gaps then, and then we continued on them to the end of the film. So I kind of like the arrangement of like what was done there, and it did throw me a little bit, but it also was very clever, I thought, and very particular in how he did it, and very organised as well. It wasn't like, you could see that this was a very thought out plot and a very well written plot, and it did wrap up very well at the end, which you want it to do. You don't want to be watching a murder mystery and it kind of doesn't make sense. It did make sense at the very, very end, and I will give props to that, but it just felt like it lost a little bit of itself. The first film I thought was very, very good, very, very different, unique, but also something we've seen before. This just felt like it was competing with Death on the Nile, which came out this year, obviously. It didn't feel, and it kind of lost that uniqueness in the film. I also thought Daniel Craig, in my opinion, this movie overacted. Now, I can't remember his character in the first one, really, but I just felt like he was overacting. It just came across as forced. I'm not too sure. It kind of felt like, we made a ton of money off the first one and it was very successful, so we need to just make this one work, and everyone needs to come back and have a gun to the head because we need you to come back, Daniel Craig. That's just how I felt. All the stars in the movie I thought were pretty good in their roles. We had Dave Bautista, we had Edward Norton, who is a very Marmite actor in my opinion. Like, you either love him or you hate him, in my opinion. A lot of people love him. I'm somebody who kind of likes him a lot, but there is a lot of people I can understand don't like him. And yeah, he has that different, there's a different element with his way of acting and talking, and I'm not too sure what it is, but I can understand from some people's point of view if they didn't like him, in my opinion. It is a shame that this movie is like a Netflix original movie. You could have seen him in the cinema for a week. Like I said, it's got that big budget feel, it's got that big Hollywood feel, but a lot of Netflix movies do now. They don't feel like the straight to DVD stuff or the TV movies that we had in the past. They are going to have these big casts now because everyone is watching stuff on Netflix. That's why these rights get bought and sold more or less immediately. So it does make sense, but it isn't a movie that you need to see on the big screen. It's not like a fantastic looking movie. It's okay. It doesn't have like any amazing scenes and like good action scenes and all that in the film, really. It's a murder mystery. There's a lot of dialogue in the film. There's a lot of standing around a room pointing to each other, and in my opinion, I gave it a 3-star. It's not like the worst first film in the world, but it's also not like one of the best. In my opinion, I think for murder mystery stuff, I prefer Knives Out 1 as my favourite, and then like Murder on the Orient Express like underneath that. But I do think that Knives Out 2 is better than Death on the Nile, in my opinion. I think it's just got that different element to it, and Death on the Nile just felt like awful because it was on a green screen and it looked cheap. It's hard to compare these films because they shouldn't be compared to each other, but they're the same genre, so you should. I just felt like Rian Johnson did a much better job writing the story, tying it all together, and then slotting the gaps in between, and how he organised that I thought was second to none. It was very, very good. But it's just a shame that I didn't really find it to be amazing. I just thought it was okay. Won't watch her again. But it is what it is. So there you go, guys. There is my review of Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have you seen Knives Out 2? Let me know your thoughts. And also, if you want me to revisit Knives Out 1, let me know down below. And I will give it another go, because it was a long time since I saw that film. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.